Hello and welcome to all the viewers joining us here on this harness racing preview show. Welcome to Speed Down Under. It's got speed, it's got quality, and it's got precision. We're going to be taking you through all the selections and previews for harness racing that takes place this Friday from Down Under in Perth at Gloucester Park. Joining me on the line is trainer-driver Aldo Kapasi. Always a pleasure to be working alongside Aldo. Good day, Aldo. How are you doing?
Very well, Devon. Very well, thank you.
That's good. How's things back in Perth? The last time we spoke, you said you guys were expecting a wet weekend. I know the rain was much needed. How did that go?
Yes, we got about 19 millimetres of rain, which was very good. And all the farmers are very happy, which is always good to hear.
Excellent stuff. And last week, the best bet arrived. There was one or two hard luck stories in the first leg of the jackpot where there was a little bit of trouble in the running. One or two horses were inconvenienced, but we're looking to bounce back this week.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's racing, and hopefully this week we can redeem ourselves a little bit, and these horses that we choose get a fair crack at them.
Beautiful stuff. Before we get into the jackpot and the best bet, just touching on that win tally, currently sitting on 1,488 and climbing. I was watching Bunbury last week, and I just thought that the two winners that you had, those drives were absolutely outstanding. Well done.
Thank you, Devon. And nice horses always make my job a lot easier, as anyone would understand. But it's always good to win a race and good to win for good connections.
Beautiful stuff. And Aldo, that horse, Wandering Girl from your yard, is it a horse that we can follow for the future? I'll say that because I've watched the second last start when running second at Gloucester Park. Looks like a really nice horse. Was very tough on that occasion, and the last start was a very good win. Can we follow that for the future?
Sure, I think she's a very handy little filly, and she always runs a top race. So definitely, you know, if anyone's sort of having a bet and playing novelty, she's always a horse to have something each way on for sure, or to include in any novelty betting. But the best filly is, across my heart, she was a very good 2-year-old. Had a few problems since she's come back as a 3-year-old, but she's definitely one to follow, especially coming up towards the bigger races like the Oaks. She could be a real smoky in those types of races.
Well, we'll be keeping a close eye on I Cross My Heart. That's trained by Terry Atkins and was ridden to victory last week by Aldo Kapasi. I must say that was a world-class drive. Let's get straight into the thick of things. Before we start with the jackpot, we'll start with race 3 because your best bet comes up in race 3 in the form of number 3, the Mickey Taker, who's been racing really well.
Yeah, look, this horse is going really well and probably unlucky a bit last week. And this week it drops back in class. I think the Mickey Taker should be just too good for them, to be honest. You know, it was a toss-up between 3 horses for my best bet this week. And I sort of went the Mickey Taker only because I think he's going to bring a bit of value to the punters. Sky Lou and Storm the Beach should both be winning as well. But I think their odds will be much shorter and much tighter than the Mickey Taker. But all 3 should be going very close to winning. So I picked Mickey Taker only for the fact that I think his odds will be a little bit better for the punters.
Well, there you heard it from Aldo. There's plenty of value about number 3, the Mickey Taker, which runs in race 3 that jumps at 12:26 South African time. And just looking at the anti-post betting odds from Down Under, currently trading at around about $2.75. We will give you the tote update tomorrow once the betting is updated. So number 3, the Mickey Taker for Aidan De Campo in race number 3 at Gloucester Park is the best bet, and Aldo has singled out 2 more horses if you're looking to play an all to come. Now this horse has been racing exceptionally well. The last race, if I'm not mistaken, did race in the breeze, did finish second, so very gutsy and could be too good for this field in race number 3. We're going to move on to those jackpot selections. That slide is going to come up on screen any moment now, and Aldo has gone with the numbers 1, 10, 8 and 5 in the first leg. So just recapping, 1, 10, 8 and 5. We're going to start with the number 1, Aldo, Miss Hepburn from the Aiden De Campo yard. Now this horse has been holding solid form. The last run was boxed in at the back of the field, but I really like the way this individual finished strongly to finish in 4th.
Yeah, look, Miss Hepburn I think she should lead and hold the front, with her biggest danger being on her back, Waterloo. She's a very, very talented little filly, and from the barrier 1, she's not going to have to use a lot of tickets early, so I just think she might just have a little bit left in reserve. But in saying that, you're going to have Waterloo hard up on her back, who's going to be the red-hot favourite.
I see this horse, number 10, Waterloo, has some outstanding credentials. Been in the frame 17 times out of 19, but just has a tough draw to contend with.
Yeah, barrier 10 can be a very tricky draw at Gloucester Park, especially when you've got a driver of Aiden's capabilities probably going to be leading the race. So depends what Shannon wants to do early, whether he wants to try to get away from the fence and make his own luck, which my feeling is that is what he'll probably do, or if he punches through on Miss Hepburn's back and drives for luck after that. But I think definitely Waterloo, she's a very, very smart filly, and much better when she's up on the speed,
yes,
rather than coming from behind. But she's a very talented filly.
Well, if number 1, Miss Hepburn, and number 10, Waterloo, do fluff their lines, I see you've backed it up with number 8, Exceptional Armour, as well as number 5, Sugar Delight.
Yeah, look, Exceptional Armour, I think she's a quality filly, and she's very tough and very dour. And I think if the race could get turned on its head, either Exceptional Armour or Sugar Delight could cause a boil over Sugar Delight. She's a very inexperienced horse, but extremely well bred. I won her first race on her, and she gave me a great feel. I just think if the race gets turned on its head and a little bit, the 1 and the 10 don't get much luck, Exceptional Armour and Sugar Delight could be the one storming home at the finish.
Beautiful stuff. Just recapping those numbers in the first leg, 1, 10, 8 and 5. For the guys who are looking to play an exacta and trifecta, throw in number 5, Sugar Delight, because that's currently trading at around about $12 down under. Obviously, the updated tote betting will be available tomorrow because the show is recorded early. There could be plenty of value for the placings as well as the trifectas. Aldo has given us some confidence that Sugar Delight has plenty of ability. Moving on to race number 6, which is the second leg of the jackpot. Aldo has gone with numbers 2, 4 and 6. Let's start with number 2, Renete. This one showed plenty of speed in the last start, Aldo.
Yeah, look, I think she's a probable leader, and being only over the short trip of the mile, I think she might just have be a bit too fast for them. But if she tends to over-race, has to do a little bit. Highview Heidi's a quality filly who I think with speed she can definitely overcome the barrier disadvantage. But I think it's honestly a race between both of them. But I've also got Diamonds Are Forever as the horse that probably could cause an upset if those two go to war early and make it into a race for the swoopers.
Some nice value there about number 6, Diamonds Are Forever. Currently trading at around about $16 down under Antipo. So could be some value for the trifecta players, Aldo.
Yeah, look, I think she's a very nice, she's very well bred, and she's a very nice filly. And I just think, like I said, if the 2 and the 4 have a war, then it could turn a race for her. But I do think the 2 is a race between the 2 and the 4.
Moving on to the next leg of the jackpot, which is race number 7, that will jump at 14.24. Excuse me, that is South African time, and the numbers that Aldo has gone with is numbers 2, 1 and 8. Just recapping, 2, 1 and 8. You can take us through those selections, Aldo.
This is a very hard race to choose from. I've gone Flame Tree only because I run a couple of starts back in a group race. She runs second, and she's won a couple of classics as a young horse. She's versatile. She can either lead, breeze, or sit. And I just feel she's got a bit of class above these other horses, and I think this might be a race where she can find the front. If she can find the front, I think it'll be very hard to beat her.
And then number 1, Maddie Rocks, got the plum draw.
Yeah, Maddie Rocks, she's a bit of a sniper of a horse, and I just think this is the perfect draw for her to be that sniper type of horse where she can just have one short, sharp crack at them. She's very dangerous over a furlong if she's held up long enough, and this is the draw where she can be held up long enough. She won at cricket score odds a few months back at Gloucester Park by doing the same thing, and I think this is a race where if Flame Tree's not on her game 100%, she could be the sniper, just sitting off her and having one short, sharp crack at her.
That is number 1, Maddie Rocks, who could represent some value there for trainer Kevin Nolan and driver Callan Savalco. And then also number 8, that is Starlight Dream for Donald Harper being the trainer driver there. A very honest type.
She's a horse that's really taken my attention lately. I've raced against her a few times, and there's been a few times where I thought she couldn't win, and she's found a way to win. I think she's an up-and-coming horse and definitely one for people to be following. Barrier probably puts her out of the race a little bit, but like I said, she seems to be the type of horse when you think she can't win, she seems to find a way to win. So this one you can't leave out.
2, 1 and 8 there in the second last leg of the jackpot. Moving on to the last leg, which is race number 8, that will jump at 14.50. The numbers that we have for you is 5, 1 and 7. So Sky Lou from the Gary Hall Senior Yard with Gary Hall Junior aboard looks the one to beat here.
Yeah, Sky Lou is probably one of my best bets for the program. I just think he's all class. He's a classy horse. He looks like a racehorse, and he goes accordingly. Very strong team behind him in Gary Senior and Junior, and I just feel like he's got the class above these horses. If being a stand, if things happen to go a little bit wrong, Dorado, he's a proven stand horse who can come off big handicap and winning races in the country. So I just think if there's a race that maybe Skylo misses away, Dorado could be his danger. And he's going to get a really good trip from barrier 1.
Another horse, number 7, Karana, is also included there, and this one's been a top performer recently.
Yeah, Karana, I think I had her as a best bet a couple of weeks ago, and I just feel it's a little bit hit and miss from the stand. But, you know, she'll step away at some stage and she'll be put into the race at some stage. But I just think Skylou's got the class over Karana and going to have probably a better trip in running than her. But I think the three of them are better trifectas, and I think the three of them will be going very close to finding out the finish.
Beautiful stuff there. Those 3 numbers in the last leg of the jackpot, numbers 5, 1 and 7. You heard it from Aldo. Number 5, Sky Lou, jumps off that 10-meter penalty, and this horse is very, very classy and looks tough to beat. That is number 5 in race number 8. If the favorite does fluff his lines, Aldo has backed it up with number 1, Dorado, as well as number 7, Karana, who does have ability but does have a 20-meter handicap. So just recapping those jackpot numbers, it is going to pop up on your screen now. It's going to cost you 108 Rand. That's 1, 10, 8 and 5. Then we're looking at 2, 4 and 6 in the second leg, and then 2, 1 and 8 in the penultimate leg, the second last leg, and the last leg we've gone with numbers 5, 1 and 7. So that's going to cost you 108 Rand, and then of course that best bet kicks off in race number 3, which is the Mickey Taker for Aiden DeCampo, the trainer driver. Aldo said this one does represent some value for the punters, and this one could be very, very tough to beat from a reasonable draw. So we've recapped those numbers for you. It's going to cost you 108 Rand. The best bet in race number 3, the Mickey Taker. Aldo, always a pleasure having you online. Thank you very much for your time and contribution.
Our pleasure, Devon, and good punting, everyone.
Well, all the best to the viewers that are following Gloucester Park harness racing, which takes place on Friday, the 17th of May. That best bet kicks off at 12:26 in race 3, and then the jackpot kicks off in race number 5 at 13:26. We wish you everything of the best come Friday at Gloucester Park if you're playing this jackpot.